failure to lock back on the last round. No big deal. Oh, that is so cool. I love this thing. Give me one sec. The Taurus TX22 Compact. I love the Taurus TX22 full size, and when I saw this one hit the market, which is very recently, I went straight for it. I didn't watch it. I didn't wait for any reviews. I didn't wait for any videos or anything. I just went straight for it because I thought this was so cool. But you know, of course, once you get it and you start shooting it, it could be a totally different story. But I've already put about 100 rounds through this, and I've not had one single failure. Right now, it's very cold. It's like 25, 26 degrees. So this is going to be a great little test. I've got a few non-standard features. I've replaced the sights. I've replaced the, I got the thread adapter on here for a suppressor, which we'll be shooting here in a second. I've put the Balder S light/laser on there. And I think most importantly, the tandem cross 5+5 base plates. And these were originally designed for the TX22 full size. And I just went ahead and threw one of them on the Taurus TX22 Compact magazine to see if it would work. The Compact magazine holds 13 rounds. The full size holds 16 rounds. So there's going to be a slight difference, obviously, in size. But so far, it seems to work just fine. I'm using the spring that came with the tandem cross base plate that was intended for the full size mag. And yeah, it's working great. So let's just go ahead and get to some shooting real quick before my fingers fall off. But we're just shooting Remington Thunderbolt. I've got a Sealy, pretty cheap, but optic on here. I really like it though. You know, for a pretty cheap gun, you just want to go with the cheap optic. I'm not trying to put the Trigicon on here. Well, I just didn't stay back on the last round. So let's go ahead and pop in the factory mag. Also some Remington Thunderbolt. The gun points and shoots so well. That's one thing I really liked about the full-size TX22. And the compact version is really no different. It feels almost just like the full size. That's it. All right. Like I said, about 100% so far. There is that one failure to lock back, but besides that, I mean, it's 25 degrees out here. You know, what else could you ask for? It's doing great so far. But yeah, this is the profile that you get with extended mag right there. And I'm going to do a closer look at this on the tabletop, but just want to show you guys real fast. That's with the factory mag. All right. Let me go ahead and load up these mags and do some more shooting. The trigger is really nice. Just like the full-size version. It's the same exact trigger, and it's really good for those fast shots. Just making that steel ring right there. I haven't sighted in the red dot yet. I'm going to see if I can hit that little target up there. I gotta aim a little higher, I guess. doing all right. Ugh. Almost no failures. I wish I didn't say that in the beginning of the video because it did have that failure to stay back on the last round, but so far no jams, no failure to extracts, no failure to feeds, no significant failures of any kind. So far this thing is quite the workhorse. It's doing really well. And again, 25 degrees out here. I'm gonna go ahead and load up some more mags and we'll put the suppressor on. Alright, I wish I had more magazines. This can operate with the full-size magazine, which is the 16 round one, but it leaves a little gap right here. Something tells me that the aftermarket crowd out there is going to probably come out with a little sleeve so you can use your 16 round full-size mag without having there be a little gap. And then with the 5 round extension, you got 21 rounds in a compact little pistol. So that'd be pretty cool. But right now we've got the Odinworks NAV22 on here, and I've just got the 3 baffles on there, so it's not going to be, you know, super quiet, but it should be relatively quiet. Just something to take the edge off. The point of impact is going to be shifted, so I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be. Whenever you put the suppressor, you know, or take it on and off, you're going to have different points of impact shift, so that is why it's good to have a dedicated suppressor. But this is the only 22 suppressor I have right now, so I keep moving it from gun to gun. But let's see here. Okay. Oh, I see. It's just shooting a little high. Nice. I'm going to try and hit the little guy. Yeah. Oh man, operating perfectly. There's not a lot of gas blowback, which is really nice. Usually with really small 22s, you get a lot of gas blowback, at least with this Odinworks NAV22. Yeah, you can just see how cold it is out here with all this steam coming out of my mouth. But yeah, let's go for the other mag. Actually, I do want to. I want to fire the rest of the shots off into the to the side, just so you can hear how quiet it is with just 3 baffles. I don't think that this short barrel, which I forgot exactly how big it is, I think it's around 3.5 inches, is allowing this Remington Thunderbolt to build up enough velocity to reach supersonic levels. So it's probably staying subsonic. I don't hear it crack, and I'm sure you guys don't either. I'm really peppering that target, and I'm going to pepper it a little more. So just a real test to some reliability here. I'm going to do 2 more mags and just do some rapid firing. So I'm going to shoot as fast as I can and see if we get any failures. I also want to point out that I'm using the Remington Thunderbolt out of the compact version. Out of the full-size version, the Remington Thunderbolt doesn't actually operate very well. I usually have to use Federal Automatch in the full-size version. So the fact that it's shooting this dirty, really cheap stuff is another testament to its reliability. So let's just give it one final test here. Oh. Failure to lock back on the last round. No big deal. Oh, that is so cool. I love this thing. Give me one sec. I love it even better with the 5 round mag extension in here. I gotta say, this is one dirty gun right now. You can really see the The optic is extremely dirty. I hope you guys can see that. It might be focusing on my face, but it is so cold out here, and this thing held up really well. 2 failure to lock back on the last round. Is that a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. If it had any other kind of failures, yeah, that might say something, but the fact that it didn't have any other kind of failures really says something. I think this thing is incredibly reliable. So we're going to go ahead and get back inside where it's nice and warm and take a little bit of a closer look at this Taurus TX22 Compact. All right. So this might have been the most fun I've ever had with my pants on and gloves on and multiple layers. As a matter of fact, it was so cold out there that it almost wasn't fun at all. But this gun right here, the Taurus TX22 Compact, made it fun and kept trucking along. So there's probably going to be plenty of videos that will go more in depth into the Taurus TX22 Compact, and most details will probably be very similar to the full-size Taurus TX22 that's already been out for a few years. But I just wanted to take a closer look at some of the things I've added to this compact fella here to make it stand out a little bit more than the average Taurus TX22 Compact. So starting at the top, we've got these Strike Industry iron sights. And if you don't know, the Taurus TX22 and compact version both take, I think it's like the G3 sights or the G3C, which is probably more of a popular gun out there. But any one of those sights should fit the Taurus TX22. But I will say, I had to do some fitting. I guess more notably in the back, but the front sight, I had to just file around the little piece that goes into the frame to get it to fit snug. And then this does come with a screw. I'm really glad it did, because when I was tightening down the screw that came with the gun, it broke on me, and I had to very delicately remove the screw from the sight and then try and retighten it. But luckily, these Strike Industry sights do come with a screw, so if you accidentally break your screw, then you have a backup like me. So the rear sight required a lot more fitting, and I don't know what kind of metal these sights are made out of, but it is some of the toughest metal, and it took so long to file down this sight right here so that it fit into the little slot right here. And I didn't have to take off too much, like probably less than a millimeter, and it took forever just to get it to fit in there. Luckily I had a sight pusher, so that really helped. But yeah, if you get these Strike Industry sights, which were very cheap, and that's one of the reasons I got them, they were like $35 or something on Taurus's website. I'll see if they're still available for that price. But anyways, just get ready to do some filing if you do get these sights. But it's really not that big of a deal. If you know what you're doing, it should be no problem. So the red dot right here, this is a Sealy red dot. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It says cat right here, but if there's another name for it, I'll notate that. But it's really got a really nice viewing window, and it what do you call it? Co-witnesses perfectly with, where is it? There it is. Co-witnesses perfectly. You know what? I just realized it's so dirty I can barely see that front sight, but it does co-witness perfectly. I'll go over why it's so dirty, here in a second. But it's a like $100 red dot. So since this is like a $250 to $300 gun, actually, at the time it came out, it was $300, but I bet that'll come down in price just like the full size version did. Which you can find the full size for like $250 now. So hopefully the compact will come down to about the same. Of course, there is a little bit more engineering or whatever design that goes into the compact. You got these lightning cuts right here. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of the main difference, just like the lightning cuts. So it might stay at 300, but we'll see. But going back to this red dot, I really like it. It's plenty bright. And let's see if I can show you guys. Yeah, there you go. Well, it looks very big because of the focus, but it's not that big. That's what she said. So moving on from the sights, we've got, well, let's just stay up here real quick. I went ahead and threw the thread adapter on here. The thread adapter did come with the gun, so you don't have to go out and source that, spend more money. Right here is the Balder S, made by my favorite light company, Olight. They do not pay me to say that. They probably will never even see this video. So this, if you don't know, is a flashlight and green laser. So it's really nice to have it in a compact flashlight like this. I was thinking the Balder Mini might work better, but I kind of like how the light sticks out a little bit like that. Kind of makes it look super tactical. And this is almost meant for this gun because it's almost flush with the trigger guard right here. So I just think that's really cool. I actually had this on this full size before, and it was flush with that trigger guard too. I'll show you a comparison here in a second. They're actually very similar in size, but last but not least, the I think Tandem Cross, that's who makes this. This is the Tandem Cross 5 plus 5 base plate, and I originally got it for the TX22 full size, and that's what it was originally designed for. But lucky for everybody out there who already own a Taurus TX22 full size with the plus 5 base plates, you can now use it on your compact version. So let's go ahead and do a little size comparison real quick. The grips are almost identical. You know, obviously the compact version is just a little bit smaller, but the trigger guard's exactly the same. As you can see, if you line everything up slightly, the grip sticks out just a little bit. It's like an inch. The rear is about the same. I think the full size sticks out. It looks like about a, no, actually, I don't know, maybe barely sticks out, but the front is slightly shorter. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but the full size only sticks out maybe like a ½ inch. It's really not even that much. So it's pretty similar in size to the full size. So I haven't really tried, but I'm sure a lot of your holsters will probably work. If you have holsters for your full size, you got holsters for your compact. So the compact did come with an extra mag and this mag loader right here, which is nice to use on the extended mag because whenever you put one of these in, you have to remove the, what do you call it? This thing right here. Let's see, it'll focus. Come on, focus. I'm having a hard time focus. There we go. So yeah, that thing right there, which really assists in loading these mags, but you got to take it out because it needs to go all the way down to, or at least when you load this, the follower goes down into like the base plate here. But as you can see in the shooting footage, this magazine, which was originally designed just to hold 13 rounds, works really good with the Tandem Cross base plate, and I used the spring that came with the Tandem Cross base plate. So, you know, even though I guess it was a little extra power, I was thinking I could cut a coil or two off if it was giving me problems, but I didn't have to do any modifying to the spring, and it worked great with this compact mag, the 13 round mag. And as you can see, I think it makes it look very cool, tactical, like Call of Duty. So when shooting this suppressed, with that suppressor right there, the Odinworks NAV22, I didn't really notice a lot of gas back in the face until all of a sudden I could almost not see through that red dot, and I noticed, wow, that's dirty. So I think the red dot was catching a lot of the gas that was coming back. So it's not to say that it isn't a gassy gun, but if you got a red dot on here, I think it kind of acts like a brass deflector and just deflects a lot of the gas away from your face. So that was a nice little touch that I wasn't expecting. But speaking of how dirty it is, I mean, this thing got filthy, but didn't seem to have any issues with being so dirty. Not sure if the camera's really going to pick up on how dirty it is, but she's a dirty little girl. Actually, you can just kind of hear maybe some of the grittiness in there. But yeah, no problems really. I was very impressed with the reliability. Actually, the one issue, it's not even that big of an issue, but every now and then the mag didn't stay back on the last round, and that actually only happened with the mag that I put the extension on, so that could have something to do with it. So I don't know if I can really blame the gun at all for any issues whatsoever. Not to mention I was shooting this super cheap Remington Thunderbolt, and this stuff, which if you don't know is probably about the cheapest stuff that you can come by. And with this full-size Taurus TX22, this Thunderbolt does not like to operate very well in this. It can operate it, but every mag has a couple of jams, and they're not really bad jams actually. It's kind of easy to clear a jam. Every single jam I've ever had with this full-size gun, it's usually a double feed, and I just have to shake it out, and that's all, and then just keep on shooting. But what this full-size version does like is this what do you call it? The auto match, federal auto match right there. And one more thing I just want to show you while we are talking about mags is you can use your Taurus TX22 full-size mag in the compact, and it operates just fine. But you're going to have this gap right here. And I'm thinking that eventually, you know, like I said in the shooting footage, that the aftermarket crowd out there will probably come out with some sort of like a 3D printed sleeve that will then allow you to use it or not have that gap there, because as you can see, that's like right where my pinky is. So it's a little uncomfortable shooting it with the full-size mag in. But having 18 rounds in a compact 22 is really nice, especially because only a few years ago, every single 22 pistol out there only had 10 rounds, except for like the Smith & Wesson, was it the M&P 22 full size? I'm not sure about the compact because I didn't shoot the compact, but I do have the full size, and that had a 12 round mag, and that was about the biggest that you can get with a 22 pistol a few years ago. So it's nice to see that, you know, now I can get 21 rounds in the full size here, and then 18 rounds in the compact. So it's just nice that, you know, ammo capacity or magazine capacity has increased over the years. So I was just very happy that Taurus decided to come out with this. I just think it's so cool. It really does have that Call of Duty vibe for all of you LARPers out there. But I just really enjoyed shooting this. It has a great trigger, actually. I guess one thing that we'll do real fast is let's go ahead and pull the trigger with our Lyman trigger pull gauge. So I bet it's around like 3.5 pounds. Oop, that was a little off, but still 4 pounds 3 ounces. It's a little bit of grittiness to that trigger. You could probably hear it. 4 pounds, 9.8. It really does feel like a 3.5 pound trigger. I'm surprised that it's over 4. Do one more here. Oh, almost 5 pounds that time. So it's probably close to like 4.5 pounds. And then just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and do the full size, because I think it's a very similar trigger, if not exactly the same. Well, that was 5 pounds 4 ounces. So you're looking at probably more of a 5 pound trigger with this one. Whoop. 4 pounds. So maybe not. I don't know. Let's do it one more time. That one was kind of messed up. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. So yeah, maybe a little less than 5 pounds with the full size, but pretty light nonetheless, and has a really clean break. I mean, the bow triggers do have exactly the same feel. The break is really nice, and the reset. Whoops, I accidentally turned on the light. The reset. Let me try and get my finger out there a little bit. Ooh, that was. I don't know if y'all heard. There was actually my house clicked right when they reset. So let me do it one more time. But yeah, the break, just like that, and then the reset. It's crazy short. And then that break is also crazy short. It's really nice. So, yeah, like I was saying, it really satisfies the LARPer in me. This is kind of what kids that grow up playing Call of Duty do whenever they have disposable income. So, I definitely recommend you go out and get a Taurus TX22 Compact. I think it's very cool. And while you're at it, pick up the full size. Why not? No, I'm just kidding. If you got the compact, I mean, I see very little need for the full size, especially because the compact just comes with so many more features, like it's optics ready. You can use the tandem cross base plates, so it's got everything you need. So I guess that's about it. Thank you for watching.